Everybody, it's Mark Pruitt here with Strategic Estate Planning Services. I'm joined with Lamar Kerr, one of our guys here and advisors at the company. And this is another strategic money tip that we think is incredibly important for families. You know, Lamar, you and I have settled a lot of estates for families.
Right.
We've done lots of different things to help families, and we finally decided, you know what, we need to sit down and give some things in pre-planning
Right.
of the estate that makes it easier for the families when that time comes, that they actually have some things that are already done, and I call it being proactive versus reactive. These are some of the following areas that we think is important that your family needs to know certain things, where certain things are, and to have it done ahead of time. That way it just takes pressure off. They're not having to tear the house up to find things. As an example, the first and obvious one would be, number one, is to know, your family should know where your legal documents are. You know, Lamar, we've had to go into houses and basically tear some of them up, almost literally going through everything.
That's right.
And families have had to do the same thing to try to find the legal documents. They don't know where they were. And so to me, there needs to be a common place that everybody knows. That way they're going to say it's either in this file drawer, on the third file drawer on the bottom, or it's on this top shelf, you know,
Right.
somewhere where everybody knows where it's at.
Absolutely.
And so the legal documents is a basic one that everybody needs to know where that's at. Another one is knowing where, if they served in the military, knowing where a DD-214 is. That is their military discharge documents. That's something that if they want any type of military burials, they're going to need to know. One of the first things that they're going to ask for is, where's the DD-214? That needs to be produced if at all possible. If not, you need to work on that ahead of time, because if not, you may not get the military burial if you can't find the DD-214. That may have to be reapplied for, and that could take time. So know where that thing is ahead of time. Another thing I can know, and Lamar, I think you'll expand on this a little bit, is knowing passwords. Where are the passwords? Where are they at? What's the location of them? And what is the password to specifically? And what are some things you wanted to add to that? Because you and I were talking about that earlier a little bit.
Well, it's really, I think it's knowing the passwords, also the user ID or a PIN that may be needed for certain websites. Mm-hmm. And I know we all know that a lot of these websites make you change those things
Right.
on a fairly regular basis. So you just want to make sure you try to keep wherever you document your passwords and your user IDs, keep that as current as you can, so that somebody can come in, your spouse or a child can come in and get to those websites to help, you know, keep business going, so to speak, when you pass.
And I think one of the things you said that I caught that you said is current.
Current.
You know, because
Exactly.
we've seen families where they've come in and they actually, they've written down this list of passwords, but they got 3 other pages of the same stuff where they've had to change them, and they didn't throw it away. And so, you know, I encourage families, rewrite the list and throw the old lists away, get rid of them. That way it doesn't become confusing, because what happens is, you know, we all know from dealing with passwords into secure sites, you give too many wrong passwords, they're going to lock you out and lock your family out. And that's, in the end, that's designed for protection. But when you're trying to settle the estate, it becomes very frustrating. And so get rid of the old passwords, keep a current list, and don't keep any other list other than that current list. That's what we recommend to families. Another thing I think you and I were talking about was a list of auto drafts as well.
Right. I think something that it was definitely useful to know, okay, what bills do I get in the mail? Mm-hmm. You know, which bills do I just get via email? And then how are these paid? You know, are they paid, you know, do you go online to your bank and process
Right.
payments manually to pay these? Or are they set up on auto draft, either for the bank to do automatically or for the vendor to draft your account automatically? Or do you write a check?
Right.
I mean, these are things someone can figure some of that out, but it's a lot easier if you've got it documented somewhere.
Right.
Kind of here's what we have going on a regular basis and how it's paid.
And there's a lot of times people are doing a mix of all the above. I mean,
Right,
they're writing
right.
checks, they're doing drafts. I mean, they're doing all types of things. Some of those are monthly drafts, some of those are once a year subscriptions.
Right,
So it could be subscriptions, those type of things.
right.
What are some of the other things that you talked about? I know I've had my list and you've had your list, so I wanted to make sure we get through all of those.
Yeah, another one would be your phone. A lot of people these days lock their phone. They either have it's facial recognition or it's a code you enter, or you have both options. And so if your phone has a lock on it, make sure somebody close to you knows what that code is so they can get into your phone, because they may need to, at least for a period of time, maybe answer calls, maybe use that to answer text, or to sometimes that comes into play with being able to get into accounts online by getting a two-factor authentication and getting that text on your phone. So it's important to be able to get into the phone.
Sure.
I think at least for some period of time.
All right. What else you got?
Another one I had that would be helpful would be to know, what are the income sources? What are they? Are they monthly? Are they annual? And if you have online access to those income sources, to be able to log in and look at information or do updates, have that documented as well.
And that could be income sources, could be anything from pension plans, Social Security plans that are coming in. It could be rental income from homes. It could be annuities. There's all types of different things that one spouse or the family, after the second spouse has passed, may not know where all the income sources were. So just having all of that jotted down so somebody knows who to contact to change them or stop them, either one. Because sometimes you're changing them for the remaining spouse, sometimes you're stopping them because the second spouse has already passed.
Right, and some of this you'll see on the bank, in the bank accounts, but it's just helpful, I think, if you have a list of income to make it easier to know what to be looking for and to kind of cross-reference with the bank information. Another one would be just a list of your financial accounts. I mean, do you have bank accounts? Do you have brokerage accounts? Credit cards, how many do you have? Do you have some that you're not using but they're still active or open? Retirement accounts, where are they?
Right.
That type of information.
And even on the retirement accounts, has the RMD, required minimum distribution, been taken that year? It's still required that they take that if they were living that year, in any time of that year, and they haven't taken it, there will still be that need to take a required distribution.
Right, absolutely. Another one would be life insurance. If you have policies that are still there, make sure you've got that documented. People know where those policies are kept. Just like you would want someone to know where your legal documents are, where are those life insurance policies?
Right. These are just a few of the areas that we feel like is important for families to know ahead of time. That key word being ahead of time, because if you don't, or if you don't make them aware, then what happens is they're now scrambling. And think about that. They've lost the loved one. They don't know all this information, but yet all of this information is important, incredibly important. And yet anything you can do ahead of time to help the family be in the know just relieves that much more pressure in the middle of grief, because there's so many decisions that have to be made in the middle of grief right when someone passes. And so these are things that you can do before someone passes. I've done a strategic money tip in regards to what are the main things you have to know after someone passes. And so there's two points right there. Some things you can do before someone would pass when there's no pressure, and get those things in order. And then there's some things immediately after someone passes that is a whole different set of things that have to be done that are immediate and upfront. That needs to be taken care of. And so there's the before and there's the after of that. And all of this planning is designed to be able to help your family and to make it easy on those that are remaining. That's the whole point of estate planning when you get into that. It's to make your wishes known, to give clarity, and to help those that remain be able to settle it with as much ease as possible. hopefully this is helpful for you guys. We appreciate you being here. Lamar, thank you for being here with us
Thanks,
as well.
Mark.
Absolutely.
Good topic to talk about.
Absolutely. And so anything that we can do to help you, feel free to call us 1-800-381-8870. We'll be more than happy to help you, walk you through anything that we can. We also have, before we go, an estate organizer that could be sent. If you do not have it, we'll be more than happy to get that to you. It's on a PDF file. It's a fillable. Laura can give that to you via email. All you got to do is contact our office. Again, 1-800-381-8870. Laura will you can ask Laura to say, send me that estate organizer via email, and she'll be more than happy to do that. And we have found that is very, very helpful on her families.
Yeah, the great thing about that is because it is fillable, it's easy just to update that.
Right.
When passwords change, when account information changes, it's easy to update, reprint it if you're keeping a hard copy somewhere.
And it's detailed.
Yeah, it's got a lot more detail than we've covered today, obviously.
Right.
Some additional information in there that can be documented that would really be helpful for your family.
Right. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you being with us. Anything else we can do, don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. God bless you guys. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's Strategic Money Tip. If you have any questions about the material covered in today's video, or you'd like to speak with someone from our team, simply call our office at 1-800-381-8870. Also, while we have your attention, click the link below to watch our latest video. And to see more videos on tips just like this one, make sure to click the logo to subscribe to our channel. On behalf of the team at Strategic Estate Planning Services, thanks again for watching.